Do you want to get your creature in Path of Titans from a tiny little defenseless hatchling to a grown-ass tax-paying adult? There's only one thing you gotta do. Don't fucking die. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Okay, sorry, but for real, sometimes it's really difficult to get your creature from hatchling to adult. And being a hatchling and being a juvenile, you tend to be kind of weak, kind of defenseless, kind of helpless, and it does take some of the joy out of the game. So I've put together this list of tips that my friends and I have discovered along the way of playing Path of Titans that can help you get to adulthood faster and more frequently. Before I go any further, though, if you don't mind, leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you like the face cam or if you prefer it without. Either way, I can do it. Happy to oblige. It is just a little bit more of a pain in the ass to have the face cam, but whatever. First, and unfortunately most dishearteningly, don't trust other players. There are going to be some people you can trust. You're going to meet friendly strangers. You're going to make friends playing these games. But you're also going to meet some trolls. You're going to meet people who are going to be the same species as you, who are going to two-call at you, do the universal sign of peace, which is crouching up and down, and then they're going to let their friend kill you. Or worse, they're going to come in, be your friend, and then when they decide that they're hungry, you're going to become the snack. Now, am I going to listen to this advice? Absolutely not. I always go up to strangers, especially if they're the same species, and I always end up getting myself murked. So, yeah. Do as I say, not necessarily as I do. I mean, obviously do whatever the fuck you want, but you're probably going to grow up more and have less trouble if you just avoid strangers altogether. Whenever possible, play in a group. This helps for multiple different reasons. First, you've got the intimidation factor. If you come across a group of other players, even if you're not actually able to take them on, a lot of times they will avoid the conflict just because there are numbers. They're less comfortable taking on a whole bunch when they can just pick on single players out in the wild. So the power of friendship could literally save your life. Secondly, you're going to get special quests when you're in a group that you don't get when you're on your own. And we're going to talk about those in a second. But the only way you can access them is if you do have other people that you're playing with. If you don't have friends that play the game, most servers these days have a Discord that have other people playing, and it's a really good way to network and find other people who are interested in the same kind of games as you, and then you can play together and build your friendships that way. Most of my friends that I play games with, I met playing the Isle, so there's definitely something to these people on here. But they can't fully be trusted. Don't get it twisted. They're not all out here to be friends. One that's kind of obvious, if you've played this game a lot, you're going to know this, but this is just to reaffirm. Do your missions. Are they tedious? Yeah. Yeah, sometimes they're really fucking tedious, but they're less tedious than just sitting around doing absolutely nothing, just waiting for your hunger meter to go down. So if you're going to be on there playing anyway, just kind of sitting around, then go do your missions. If you complete these missions, you will get a growth boost. It's a bigger growth boost, significantly, if you're doing a group quest. So whenever you see these, try to tackle them, try to clear out all the quests you can in an area, move to a different area, and just keep those quests rolling. A, it'll keep you more entertained. B, it'll help you grow up faster. C, it'll keep you from doing something stupid like I do, and like maybe scrolling through Facebook or something while you're playing and then, getting murdered just because you're not paying attention. A side note for the group quests, what we always do, let's say there's 3 adolescents and a hatchling playing together, the hatchling is going to get either 100% or a very high percentage of completion on that quest. So, for example, let's say you've got a group quest to collect 70 succulents. There's 3 adult Carnos and a hatchling Carno, okay? Obviously, the adults don't need the boost anymore. So, the hatchling Carno should do that entire mission themselves so they can get the maximum boost of growth and help themselves reach adulthood faster. Play on a server that's not so populated. Or if you really want to participate in a server that is populated, give yourself lots of people to play with, try to time your growing up times around when the server is less busy. For example, let's say on Tuesday nights that the server has only 70 players on it every single Tuesday night instead of the 100 players it normally has. Well, then try to grow things up on Tuesday nights. The lower the number of people on the server, it's going to greatly reduce the chances that you're going to run into another player and therefore greatly increase the chances of you making it to adulthood without getting murked. I can understand why you may not want to play on a lower population server, but if you're just beginning, getting the feel for your dinosaur, it might be easier for you to grow one up on a lower pop, and then you can still have that adulthood without having things all around you all the time, and then kind of work your way into the more populated servers. Or throw yourself in, sink or swim, it's up to you. My favorite tip, I guess, personally, is practice. Like, go to deathmatch servers and fucking practice. It's not exactly the same. Obviously, you're not losing anything in combat, so the stakes are much lower, and it doesn't really matter if you make mistakes. But the only way you're going to know what the turning radius of a Suko is if you play as a Suko and turn in a circle. So I think it's a fantastic idea to get on there, try all different kinds of creatures, get the feel for them, get the feel for the ones that you want to play, get the feel for the ones that you want to hunt, get the feel for the ones you want to defend yourself against. Do all your research on all these different creatures, and even if it doesn't actually help you mechanically become a better player, it's going to give you a confidence boost, which is going to help lower your stress levels, help you focus when you are in battle, and hopefully make less mistakes. Also, it's a fantastic way to try out abilities that you normally wouldn't unlock, or maybe you thought about unlocking. Most of these deathmatch servers have pretty much unlimited points, so you get in here, you unlock all the abilities, you try out the different things, you figure out the way that you want to build your creatures depending on what's going on. Play to your creature's strengths, okay? It can be really tempting to just be running around doing whatever, but you need to keep in mind while you're growing up that you're a weakness. Your entire existence is just a weakness. So if you've got a small, lightweight, fast creature, then you can be a little more adventurous about being closer to other players, being in more dangerous areas, more populated areas. If you're a Rex, if you're a baby Rex, you need to hide. You need to go somewhere where nobody's ever going to see you because you're not strong enough really to defend yourself against most threats, and they're going to kill you before you can become an adult. If you're playing something semi-aquatic, stay near the water, have yourself a quick access into the river or a lake, something like that to give yourself an escape route. Just be smart about where you put yourself and why. Be situationally aware. I'm really bad for that in real life, but in video games, it's not so bad. And most importantly, have fun. When it comes down to it, if all you're doing is stressing about growing up these creatures, what size you're going to get to, how old you're going to make it, you're missing the point of the game. At the end of the day, it's a video game. It's meant to have fun. So do try to every once in a while relax yourself and remember that all this is for enjoyment and not just to be a grind. Okay, if you think of anything that I missed, if you have any tips and tricks for me, something you think I should add, if I have to do a part 2 of this video, I will do it. But if you have any more feedback on things that you do on Path to help yourself grow, leave them down below. And yeah, catch you in the next one.